when I first found out who you were, it was from one of the guys in my office, and you're a internet phenom. Your style of investing couldn't be more opposite than mine. Let's start about how you got started in this business.
Sure. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining. First of all, thank you for having us.
How many people have seen one of Tim's YouTube videos?
Or your children have. Or grandchildren. I don't know. I don't discriminate. I welcome all views. I got started when I was a senior in high school. I had my bar mitzvah gift money just sitting in like Series EE bonds, like going nowhere. And I was a tennis player. I had surgery on my arm. I couldn't play tennis anymore. So my parents gave me control of the bar mitzvah money. They thought I would lose it all. And instead, by the end of senior year of high school, I had made over $100,000. By the time I graduated college, it was nearly $2 million. I gravitated towards low-priced, much hated upon penny stocks.
So how much did you start out with?
I started with $12,000.
So 12 grand to 100 grand. In what style of investing?
Just buying penny stocks as they broke out. I didn't know at the time I was
that they were penny stocks?
Well, no, I knew they were penny stocks. I didn't know that they were being promoted by boiler rooms. So I recognized a pattern. I would buy around 3:50, 3:55 p.m. Eastern before the market closed. And almost 9 times out of 10, they would gap up the next day because the boiler rooms were promoting them overnight to people at dinner. And the buy orders would pop up the next morning, no pre-market, so you would get the gap ups.
So let's walk into your show that you first got known for in a mainstream style.
So I was on Wall Street Warriors, drunk in every episode, going through a tough time. I tried long-term investing, actually, and I sucked at it. So I was very depressed. My hedge fund was down 30%. They thought that it was because, I got cocky because of all the success. It was just because I didn't know shit about investing. I was a trader. So trading and investing, two different animals, as you know.
So let's now where you are today. So when I saw the video of Lamborghinis, Flash, I looked at you and go, man, this guy's Flash. I'm about cash. We couldn't be opposites. But yet the conclusion here is that you got to know what style of investor you are or speculator and what works for you. So what have you learned from, going through the boom, the bust, and the echo of your style of trading?
Yeah, and opposites attract. I like you, I don't mind that you, what do you have, a Mazda? A Subaru? Hyundai?
Something like that.
A Hyundai? I don't know. But no, it's about cutting losses quickly for me. That's rule number one. When I was an investor, I had no risk management. Now as a trader, that loss helped me understand why I failed. The loss I'm very grateful for. Now you won't see me lose more than 2 or 3% on any trade.
So let's talk about that. How long is your average trade?
Between 30 minutes and 2 days.
30 minutes and 2 days.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Sometimes like 2 hours, sometimes a day, never more than 2 days.
And how do you do your research in this?
So I'm always looking for big percent gainers. I don't want to be stuck in a mining company going nowhere with a big promise of a story where the stock is doing nothing. I focus on stocks hitting new highs every single day. We might not have the boiler rooms anymore, but we have weed stocks, we have CBD. Even though the markets were down as a whole last year, my main account was up over 70%, focusing on weed stocks, focusing on CBD. I don't care what sector is hot. I just focus on that because that's the volatility that I need.
And how do you buy your stocks? Do you have a stockbroker?
So I've heard there's stockbrokers. I don't know. I don't know this. I mean, everything I do is online. It's all digital. But I got a business card from somebody last time saying that they were a stockbroker. And I actually framed the business card because I feel like it's an artifact. I feel like if I
should be in a museum?
Yeah, like a museum of Wall Street. Like, once upon a time, the great stockbrokers. But no, I use, Interactive Brokers E-Trade. It makes it very simple.
So do you play only the North American stocks or do you do international, different time zones? Because I see all these videos of you canoeing and making money. Now, let's pull the veil off of marketing and the real world.
Yeah, so I bring my laptop everywhere. I do trade from some crazy places. I was in South Africa on a rhino operation. A trade actually happened while I was on the operation, and we had Wi-Fi in the bush. That was a real trade. Usually, I'm in Asia. I'm actually heading to Asia tomorrow night, and the market is open at night there. So I trade U.S. stocks, Canadian stocks. It's tough because I pull all-nighters. It's not the best time zone, but I love it.
You're pulling all-nighter, still doing the boozing that you did in Wall Street Warriors?
I can't drink for shit anymore. Now I'm drinking coffee. I just started drinking coffee. I'm 38 now. In my 37th year, I joined the coffee revolution. Who here likes coffee? Yeah!
I gotta love this. What about private placements? So a big thesis of my investing is the alligator. You sit back, you do a ton of research, you go to the site visits, you get positioned well with the warrant upside. Do you do any private placements?
Not at all. You can't manage the risk. I don't have the patience, so I can't cut losses quickly. It's not my style. That's you and your Subarus and Hyundais.
Well, when you own the dealership, it's kind of good selling Hyundais.
If you own 500 Hyundais, that's fantastic. 500 Hyundais equals half a Lamborghini.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Now, what about asset allocation? How do you manage how much you put in towards a trade?
So I don't like risking more than 30% of my account. I know that's aggressive for people, but remember, I'm cutting losses very quickly, so I'm very
let me clarify.
Yeah.
30% of your account in one trade?
Correct. I only take 1 or 2 trades at a time. No diversification, no hedging bullshit. I'm specifically focused, is this stock going to move? Usually I'm buying big percent winners, so they're already up 30, 50% on the day. Can they spike even more? Does it have news? Does it have legs?
So a question I would have, because it's not my style, but if I was watching this market.
You made that clear.
Yes, because I would love to put our portfolios up, and I think the next time we will do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
In your newsletter, do you make the trade, then tell your subscribers about the trade? Or how do you handle not front-running your own subscribers or your followers?
Different newsletters have different amounts. So I mainly trade with a $12,000 account. So I'm buying like 500 shares, 1,000 shares.
How the hell do you buy a Lamborghini with $12,000 account?
I'll teach you. You grow it over time. It builds up over time. But then, I have like an Agora newsletter where I don't trade the stocks at all. Agora doesn't, allow any trading. For me, I want to teach people.
Can I freeze you there?
Yeah, sure.
Why would anyone ever want to follow someone if you can't put your own money in, but you want them to put your money in? I just don't understand that fundamentally.
I don't want anybody to follow any of my picks. I want them to learn the strategy. So whether I have money.
So it's an education.
It's all education. And that's the beautiful thing here. I have 5 millionaire students now. My top student has turned 1,500 into 7.4 million. He hates my picks. He actually is mainly a short seller. So he's gravitated towards a different strategy, but you learn different angles. This is the beauty of investing. You can be an investor, you can be a trader, you can be a short seller, you can hold for 5 minutes, you can hold for an hour. You find what suits your personality. And we're all different people here. And this is what I love about this. It's not just about hot plays or hot picks or new technology or some amazing gold find. Find what works best for you and what you're comfortable with. Like even if I made $1 million on one of these mining companies, I would hate it because that's not my style.
Don't lie. You'd be out buying a Hyundai or a Mazda.
Not at all. I would be donating the money. I would donate. I've donated $4.5 million in the past 3 years, but it's not my style. You have to find your style. That's what I love most about this. I get to travel, I get to trade, I get to teach, and I do it based on my personality.
Okay, so now I really want to pick into your brain about where do you see the resource sector. I'm sure you've looked at gold or copper, silver. What is your belief of the gold market?
I see the resource sector, and it's usually on the columns of like the biggest percent gainers or the biggest percent losers. It's usually unchanged or close to that. So I don't even look at such a boring sector because it just doesn't move enough for me. I do like it when, a mining company strikes gold or they find diamonds or they find, amazing oil and the stock goes up 30, 50, 100%. To me, that's a catalyst. There are so many stories. You guys will hear so many stories, and girls, over the next few days and in your lifetime. I just have learned to ignore stories. Everybody is a storyteller. Every CEO is positive about their company. And most of the time, it just never plays out, and most people are full of shit. I'm sorry. I expect the least, and I'm never disappointed. Yeah.
What about the role of marketing? You're part of the Agora franchise. I've seen some pretty aggressive marketing on that. Where do you see the future of the newsletter industry going?
I think that you have to be real. In the past, a lot of newsletters and a lot of companies, especially in the resource sector, they put out like these pipe dreams, like, oh, we did all this, and then you never match up to expectations. So with whatever you market, whatever product, you want to be as close to as real as possible. Like, this could actually happen. Like, my top student actually did turn a few thousand into several million. It's not just me. I have several students like that. And if you have that real stuff, the internet will reward you. If you're fake, the internet will crush you. The internet is the future with all of these sectors, and you want to just be real. You don't need to have these highly glossy magazine ads or these photo shoots. Just be as real as possible, and it'll shine through eventually.
So what about currencies? Do you play these?
I use a lot of currencies in my travels. I don't trade them. I don't think that you have a good enough edge either way. I've seen so many moves come out of the blue, and I see too much leverage. If you look at the odds, 5 out of 6 Forex traders blow up in the first 6 months. I just like penny stocks because you have a lot of idiots in this sector and in this niche, and you can beat the idiots. It's like playing mini-me in basketball. Like if you have like a little midget and he's trying to shoot, and you're just blocking him all day, and it's not his fault. He might be the best midget basketball player in the world, but he just doesn't have any height. And basketball is a height game. So to me, that's penny stocks. Forex, you're competing against, LeBron James. You're competing against all these great traders. I can't compete against that. If I'm going one-on-one with LeBron James, I'll just lie down and say, you win. But if it's a midget, I'm taking that game and I'm betting on it.
So looking back at your use of proceeds,
Have you ever played basketball with a midget?
Have I?
Yeah.
No.
So I think next time we talk, round of applause if you think this is a good idea. Should we bring a midget to play basketball?
No.
I hear some laughs. I'll take that as applause. You need to understand edge. And most people, it doesn't matter how good a thesis is with an investment or a currency, you have no edge. And so if you do this trade over and over and over again, your account's just not going to build.
What about cryptocurrencies?
They have a great pump and dump pattern, so I love it. That's the volatility that I need. You can make money on the way up and make money on the way down. That is at least volatile. But I don't believe all the idealistic bullshit where it's like, oh, this is going to change the world. Why aren't more companies using it? It's changing the world of, kind of like the underworld economy. I know a lot of drug dealers who use cryptocurrency.
Why do you know so many drug dealers?
Dude, I'm all over social media. I get the craziest.
Are you buying your Lambos off them?
No, people come to me and I meet drug dealers, I meet strippers, I meet all kinds of crazy
Where
people.
do you hang out?
On Instagram. This is all on Instagram. Are you on Instagram?
I think my marketing team's there. I have no idea.
You need to get on Instagram if you want to meet these amazing people. No, I just...
That's the difference about being flash and cash.
For me, it's interesting to see the way the world works. Cryptocurrency is a big boon to the black market of the world with drugs and all kinds of nasty stuff that, frankly, is very... questionable, and the government, I think, is going to step in. But for me, that at least sector is volatile. That's what I want. Where's the volatility in these commodities? Where's the volatility in mining? I see gold. I looked up the price of gold to prepare for this interview, and I see it's up 8%, down 8% over the past year. It's flat. It's fucking unchanged. Why are we even talking about something that's unchanged? Cash was the best performing asset of 2018. You don't have to come to a conference. You don't need anybody to just have fucking cash.
Actually, vanadium beat it, uranium beat it, so research does matter.
Fantastic. I can't even pronounce those things. For me, cash wins. It beats all the hype.
Okay, so you don't use a broker, which I can get.
I use an online discount broker.
There you go, online discount broker. What about research reports? Do you read any of this, or do you just look at gainers and momentum?
Most penny stock research reports are paid for promotions.
Of course, but I'm talking real research, not stuff from marketing firms such as.
Yes.
Starts with an A and ends with an A.
Yeah. So hey, listen. There's different kinds of research reports. I put out research on the companies that I'm actually trading. They might not be all fundamentally based, but a lot of penny stocks is just technical. So for me, I'm looking at the technicals, I'm looking at the volatility, and I'm looking for the stories. When a story sells, it can have hype, it can have legs, it spreads all throughout conferences like this. Everyone starts talking, and that's good for momentum. I'm also a short seller, so I short scams. So I read through SEC filings a lot too.
What percentage is long versus short?
In the last year, I was like 80% long, 20% short. In previous years, it was flipped. I go both ways. I made millions of dollars each ways. For me, it's 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. I want to follow that trend.
Now, with a $12,000 account, I'm assuming you're using severe leverage.
No leverage whatsoever.
No leverage?
No. E-Trade, you can short. You just need $2,000 in your account. Interactive Brokers is actually great for shorting stocks under $2 a share. E-Trade's a little less, but you don't need to take a big position. You don't need to be one of these good till zeros. I know a lot of people, they say, oh, this is a scam. I'm just going to short it for 3 months. For me, I'm looking for that first red day. I'm looking for the crack in a lot of these promotions. There might not be the Wolf of Wall Street anymore, but there's lots of little wolves, and they have these little mini promotions. And stocks, in cryptocurrency, in weed, in whatever weird metals you just said, unobtainium. I think that was in Avatar. That might be a promotion these days. I mean, you can promote anything if you have a story in little blue-green characters.
So do you follow the promotions of newsletter writers to go, okay, I'm going to short that, like even within your own universe of Agora world? Almost 80% of newsletter writers are owned by Agora.
I would not agree with that. Agora does not take compensated promotion.
No, I'm not saying paid promotion.
I'm talking about paid promotions. I short sell paid promotions. So those kinds of stocks are fantastic. It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. Because these companies spend, or insiders or the CEO, somebody spends hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars investing in a promotion, not investing in the company. It's just logical that it's going to crash. But a lot of these promotions go further than you think. Bitcoin, a lot of people ripped on it before it went up thousands of percent and all the other cryptocurrencies.
So now we're going to play long or short.
Cool.
Okay? Regardless of what the product is, it's just the equity.
Yeah.
Long or short, but you're forced to buy. Okay? So you're either going to go long or short.
I can't no trade?
Not allowed to say no trade.
Cash is a position. Okay?
I agree.
And oftentimes the best.
How many alligators are there in the crowd? There's not enough of you.
Can I be a hippo? Can I just chill in the water and then eat people when they come into my pond?
You can do that too, but a sniper, you hold positions for 2 hours. You can't take a big chunk of something for 2 hours.
Correct. I'm taking a quick shot, a kill shot, and I'm sitting there waiting for that shot for hours. Have you seen Enemy at the Gates?
No, I haven't.
Or American Sniper with Bradley Cooper?
Yes,
I'm going to send you the DVD. Or you might have VHS
DVD?
tapes.
I thought everything's on Instagram
You might have VHS tapes. I'll send you a VHS.
I thought everything's online. You don't have Netflix where you live?
Instagram is only 1 minute.
I know those drug dealers don't want any evidence on this online.
Exactly. Instagram is only 1 minute. You can't watch it.
Tesla, long or short?
What's the time horizon?
Well, I don't know, 2 hours to 2 days?
Is there a
I'm
negative?
kidding. Over the next 12 months.
Short.
Gold.
I mean, it's going to be unchanged, so it doesn't fucking matter.
U.S. dollar.
Whether I'm long or short, I make nothing, I lose nothing.
U.S. dollar.
Long.
Me too, actually. I agree with you on that.
Hell yeah.
What about something Facebook?
I'll go long just because it's down so much already. But again, this is not my kind of a play, so.
Google.
I'd go long.
Now let's get into your world.
Cool.
The marijuana sector as a whole, where do you see it going over the next 12 months? Because Vancouver's been an incredible printing press for these companies.
I mean, everyone was all excited about legalization, but when legalization came, it came and went, and all the stocks just tanked. I think that marijuana stocks will continue as they have been. There's a lot of criminals. There's a lot of shady characters. You got to be careful. Most of the companies will do nothing or fail, and they'll all have amazing hype before they fail. And then there might be 1 or 2 plays that, really do well. But
so some names that you believe in that actually will work out?
I don't believe in any of them. So cash is a position. Right now, I'm 100% cash, mind you, okay? The stock market went down a lot. It went up a lot. I'm freaked out. I do nothing. When in doubt, I do nothing. So you ask me for names, I'll look for the biggest percent gainers over the next week, the next 2 weeks. And the beautiful thing is that the biggest winners will show themselves. You're not going to miss anything. Everyone's so afraid of missing the next big winner. If you just look at the big percent winners, you'll see them popping up. You'll see them spiking for 1, 2, 3 days. If they are going to spike for 1, 2, 3 years, you'll see the beginning of any uptrend. You don't have to be there on day one. And I think a lot of people have this problem where they want to try to predict the next big winner ahead of time. And so then you're throwing out 10 picks and none of them are going to be the big winner.
So with this strategy of the, trading philosophy that, you become famous for online, and the millennials just gravitate to it, right? So we've talked about why do you use the Lamborghini as marketing? Because in the days past, how many people heard of John Vu? Tom Vu, Tom Vu, and the Rolls Royce, and I know you bought a Rolls Royce, and then I believe your uncle drives it around.
Yeah, my uncle uses it to get laid in Miami. I'm barely there. So for me, again, it's about being real. Notice how I'm real about who drives my, Rolls Royce, but I did buy it. I don't rent it for a day. And the key is being real. My latest millionaire student found me because he liked my Lamborghini on Instagram. That inspired him. Once you get beyond the flash, you see that I have 6,000 video lessons. So I think it depends.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That's what so when I initially came across you,
you just see the flash and you make assumptions.
I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And then we got to know each other. I went, okay, there's something here. Talk about these videos that people can learn. Like, what can you learn?
Yeah, so
where to buy a Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Yeah, but I actually do have a video on that. But they're mainly technical videos, just basic technical analysis, how to read SEC filings, how to read level 2.
Are these real short videos or?
All kinds. I have about 1,800 hours of total content from video lessons, DVDs, and live webinars, Q&A, live trading. You can see my screen. So it's showing every single thing that I learned the hard way over the past 20 years because I didn't have a teacher. So even though I was successful, I was blind for a while. I was just like looking in the dark. I didn't have my risk management. I didn't have cut losses quickly for the first 8 years. So I had no risk management. When you have no risk management, when you have no education, you're bound for a fall. It doesn't matter how successful you get. You need to have risk management. So a lot of my video lessons are boring as about risk management, so the Lamborghini gets people watching. You're not going to want to watch an hour-long video on cutting losses and where to put your stop losses and trailing stop losses unless you have a motivation. Why should you actually use this? So I use the visuals to get people to study, and the data shows that it works.
You suck them in with the flash, and then you teach them how to make cash.
So I said this to Larry King when he interviewed me, it's like going up to a homeless man, right? And you have 2 different bottles in your hand. One, you have like green juice, is like kale and spinach, and then another bottle is Jack Daniels. And you ask the homeless guy, which one does he want? Which one do you think the homeless guy wants? He wants...
Well, we are in Vancouver. They'll probably go with the green juice.
No, you're ruining it. The homeless guy will probably want the Jack Daniels. So I put the green juice
You're making such assumptions here.
Listen, we're going to go up to 10 homeless guys. I want
to know where you hang out, okay?
Instagram. They have free Wi-Fi at McDonald's. No, listen. So you put the green juice in the Jack Daniels. So the homeless man thinks that he's drinking the alcohol. Meanwhile, you're tricking him with healthy, nutritious green juice. That's what I do with my people. I trick them into studying for what's good for them. And it pays off over time if they study enough. People who come to me who just want hot stock picks, I say, get the away from me. I don't want that. There's an ugly bald guy on CNBC. He's right about 35% of the time. He'll tell you when to buy, and sell. That's not me.
I love it. So
See, I have a lot of friends.
What recommendation do you have to a struggling sector such as the resource sector where socially there's a big argument about who issues a social license? It's not attracting the millennials. It's a difficult business and it's in a bear market. What do you recommend for someone who's had big success in the marketing of yourself to these, you can't put a Mercedes or a Lamborghini or Ferrari on the title of these things.
No, I'll tell you what I do in any market that's barren. I get the out. You don't need to stay in one set. Who says that you have to do this all your life?
But that's truly how you make the big scores in the echo.
For me, I go from hot sector to hot sector, okay? We had CBD, we had weed, we had Ebola, we had medical, we had China, we had shipping
I'm talking to the management team to attract the millennial investors.
Get the out. When the market is bare, when there's nothing to do, create a little CBD subsidiary, create a Bitcoin subsidiary, and at least get your stock moving. They were doing it all the time, and maybe, who knows, maybe that'll even pan out.
Okay, note to mining executives, do not do that.
Why not? Be adaptive. You don't need to stay in the same
But to build a mine, sector. You actually do. The focus factor matters.
I understand, okay, for long-term success in business, but that's not going to attract millennials.
But you can't run a company on 2-hour time frames.
But you didn't ask me for business success. You asked me for marketing success. So here, we'll compromise. You do the boring stuff where the stock doesn't move, and maybe it pays off 10, 20 years from now, and then you can afford like an unobtainium steel hip or something. But in the meantime, buy some little CBD startup, buy some little Bitcoin, whatever sector is hot, and market that. And that way, you can do both. You can ride the hype in the short term and then win in the long term. Win-win.
Okay, now let's talk about real world investing.
That is real world.
No,
I saw lots of little mining companies and lots of companies in boring sectors buy Bitcoin. They bought into it. And
how did that work out for them?
Their stocks were fantastic. They were able to raise money until they raised money. You don't need a high stock price all the time. You rise, right? You raise it, you get it up, you freaking do a financing.
So I think the fundamental difference of what I'm trying to get at is net asset value, how to build true value to your company.
But if you're a mining company that's going to go bankrupt because you can't raise any money, at least you should raise money using a high stock price. Use what the market will give you, get that money.
But if you have a quality asset, you won't go bankrupt.
But do you know how many quality assets are undervalued for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years?
Sure.
You know, you're
the
crocodile. I don't have that kind of patience. You're sitting in your Hyundai because that lasts like 20 years. I'm sitting in my Lamborghini. The motor's going to burn out in a year or two. So I need money now, and I want returns now. I don't have patience. The world might not even be here in 10 or 20 years. I don't know if you've been looking at the geopolitical situation.
I'm sure we'll still be here in 10 or 20 years.
I mean, you're waiting for it to be here. I'm not taking that chance.
Oh, God, I love this. So have you ever done a private placement?
I have. I've done a few little startups, Ticketfly, StockTwits, did decently, but again, it wasn't my specialty, so I wasn't comfortable. I actually made money on those two. I had another loser. Overall, I might be plus or minus $25,000, but I learned I'm not comfortable with that, so I stopped.
So what I was trying to get at is what should the resource sector as a whole do to appeal to the millennial investor, not whore itself out to the trend of the day. I'm talking about bringing the millennials, because when you go to school, I started out as a teacher, mining is bad and all these things. It's engraved. It's actually gone backwards in society, yet it's the backbone of society. As a marketing guru, what do you think the sector should do to attract millennials?
Yeah, I mean, going back to the future of the market and finance, I think, and social media, just be real. You don't need to hire a whole camera crew to, look at this mine and make it into like this glossy pamphlet. Glossy pamphlets are dead, in my view, okay? They might work on like 80-year-olds, and I see a few of them hobbling around here. But for me, I want the younger people interested, and that means just being real. Like, just get out your iPhone, start filming, start talking about it. Give like an hour-long Instagram live or a YouTube live, answer everybody's questions, just be real about it. And if you are real, again, you might not be rewarded today, but you'll be rewarded in time. And it's so much easier. Like, it's crazy how social media has made things easier. You don't need to spend a lot of money on ads or anything like that. You just use your iPhone or Android for some weird people. You probably have an Android too, don't you? Oh my God, you have an Android? This is iPhone versus Android.
How much money do you want to put on that?
I don't even care. I don't gamble.
Are you kidding me? Listen to what you do.
I don't know, because your face is a scary poker face. You might have an iPhone. I don't even know what this is.
It's an iPhone.
Okay, there you go. But I don't gamble when I don't have odds. That's what you have to understand. For me,
crocodiles know about odds.
I'm focusing. I mean, they're so long. I don't even know how you wake up during the day. You might not even have to wake up for a day or a month because the stock hasn't budged. You might not have to wake up for a year. Is this 2019 or 2020? I don't even know. Gold hasn't budged.
It moves, don't worry.
Unobtainium moves, okay? When Avatar, the next movie hits, unobtainium is going to go to new levels.
Unfortunately, that's not a true element. So I live in the world of not drug dealers, strippers, and Lamborghinis. I lend money to people who need to make their payments on the Lamborghini.
You lend money to strippers.
No, I do not. Anyways, so if you had to start all over again with everything you know, what would you be doing today as a career?
I would be, again, trying to be real and pitch my services to somebody who's not real.
In all truth, pitch your services being real, so you're not going to be a fraud. Okay, we get that. I'm talking about sector.
No, not even fraud. I'm saying be
who you are.
Not even who I am. The way to say it is
That sounds like such an Instagram thing.
No,
be real.
But be unedited. My bad. Okay? So I'm talking about just going live and starting little conversations like this. We don't know what questions. Let's take some questions. Whatever.
Sure, let's do it. Any questions for Tim Sykes?
Go with the moment. That's what I would do. And it doesn't matter what sector you're in.
Anyone got a question? I think there's a gentleman walking up to the microphone. Just go up to the mics. We got 4 minutes for questions.
Some of the older people need a few more minutes to get to the mics. Give them time.
Oh, Mr. Damian Reynolds. What's the question?
So can everyone hear me?
You're a mining promoter. Of course they can hear you.
Unobtainium is the energy metal that fuels Tim's bull.
Ooh.
That's what
But how is it?
I think your microphone's on now.
What he's saying?
You're on.
So Tim,
Yeah.
you're full of
How?
You are full of
Even though
Do you know who you're sitting beside?
I do. The
Do you know who you're sitting beside?
The alligator.
Do you know how alligator? He's an alligator the size of 15 hippopotamuses.
I don't
Do
care.
you know how light he's been on you? Dude, let's walk through this.
How would you go
I'm
hard on
looking
me?
for a momentum. I'm doing $12,000 2-hour trades.
Yes.
Buddy, you don't have enough hours in your year for a day worth of trades to make the kind of money you're trying to sell us that you make, man. Your simple math doesn't add up.
But
Timmy, baby.
But I show
And now
all
it's
my
a dead
trades
industry.
publicly.
Timmy, talk to me, my brother. It's a dead industry. So why are you here? But
Because
you know what
it's
you've
fun.
done? You know what you've done, young
It's
man?
fun.
You know what you've done, young man? It's fun. Go, Tim, take a look at the audience. You haven't talked to the audience once. So why don't you talk to the audience, Timmy?
Okay.
And why
He's
don't
been real.
No.
And why don't you tell them what they can do? And by the way, the 80-year-olds hobbling around, you know what they're hobbling around with? The life, the pain of their life where they've tried. And they come to listen to your ass.
Whoa.
Now,
Let's all calm down.
if Marin sells them to do something, and you know what? Everything in this world, you know what it comes from?
What?
2 things. You know what those 2 things are?
Tell me.
TikTok. You got 3 seconds, motherfucker. TikTok, go.
No, tell me.
Something you
I'm
grow,
entertained.
something you grow, and something you mine.
Yes.
And the stuff you grow, it sits on top of the stuff you mine. You need to track it, okay?
Okay,
No.
next question.
No.
Timmy, relax.
Let me answer that for a second.
Okay.
Thank you for your.
This kind of went sideways.
Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Seriously, I like the passion. This is what I'm talking about, being real. You can't be afraid when it gets real. We don't know what's going to be said. This is why I show every single trade over 20 years with my income tax returns, with my audits, and I have a charity that has now been built by me single-handedly, raised over $5 million total, $4 million plus of my own money. And that is built on education and trading profits. And I'm totally transparent about that. And it's good to be real. I see you're freaking out a little bit, but it's okay.
Well, I saw 2 big guys about to go at it.
No.
And I'm a vegan who's trying to lose weight.
Listen.
Okay.
We are sharing,
one more question.
We're sharing
I get it.
here. It's
and
good.
Damien's a great guy.
I like the spirited conversation.
One more question. And then I got a surprise for everybody. And then it'll kind of put the whole alligator conclusion. Yes, sir.
I like the spirited converation, though.
I'll be a little bit less spirited.
Oh, it's okay.
Honestly, my first impression of you was also, I shared the same impression. My first, too flashy, too cocky, all in your face, lucked out on penny stocks, went to 10,000 to a million. Anyone can do that, but pushing that out there to get a lot of people to buy your course, I didn't like you at first. I just met you for the first time right now, last 5 minutes. I'm actually willing to talk with you and see maybe you're right. Some people don't learn what they need to hear. They rather hear what they want to hear, not what needs to be said.
Thank you.
So there's a chance where the Lamborghini is actually a good way to teach them the stop loss, trailing stop. I like how you picked those 2 in particular to use it as an example. So I'm myself trying to educate people for 10 years. I'd love to sit down with you and see how to get the message out to more people, how to be the top 1% of day traders by not just making more money, but protecting their losses. Because most people think, it's all about going all in, 50-50.
Well, don't buy a Lamborghini to start your career out on.
Well,
Actually,
last question right there.
Hey, guys. Hey, Tim.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tim, it's George from Agoracom. How are you?
Hey, George, how's it going?
Hey, I just want more of a statement because I think I'm one of the few guys in this room that's actually a hybrid because as Agoracom, we help companies build long-term value.
I love the promotion factor coming up. All right.
But no, hold on. But as a trader on Tim's platform, because my trades are actually tracked on Profitly, I think there's a lot of value to doing both. I don't see how you can do one or the other. And all I want to say was I think Tim got a bit of a bad deal there because there's great value in long-term investing and there's great value in
Tim
trading.
checked out.
I appreciate it. Listen, I appreciate all the conversation. This is what it takes. We should be talking about our differences. We should be talking about different strategies, different beliefs. Conversation, debate is good. And you can't be afraid of what happens. I'm not always right. I'm wrong roughly 30% of the time. But rule number 1 is cut losses quickly. Hey, Tim Sykes, Millionaire Mentor and Trader. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope that they help you. I want to share everything that I've learned over the years. You can check out more videos right over there. And also click subscribe so that you can watch all of these videos, get that knowledge, and become my next millionaire student.